certainly the best thing that we can do as an engineering technology
solves the sources of energy and the uses of energy, and still allow it to connect in a standards-based way with the electric grid when that's needed. And we're pretty excited.
EEStor.
Thank you for this.
Lockheed Martin has a global license exclusively to use it for homeland security and defense applications. I understand no one here today can comment on the status of
Well, and this
what
certainly
Lockheed
does.
Martin's doing with EEStor. But do you find what they're doing exciting?
I remember when we talked before.
I mean, so this is what I'll say. When I started my job, this energy integration position that I'm in now really just started at the beginning of this year.
Really, we can't talk about anything tied to EEStor. It's proprietary and nothing beyond the first press release.
Well, in the context of the first press release, can you just say what his? He can't say what his impression of the technology and its
He
potential.
said he was very excited by it.
I'm sorry, he can't. He can't.
When do you think you'll start talking about it?
I'm not part of that exact team, so you'd have to talk to Craig Van Beber at Missiles and Fire Control.
Okay. But before
My
we
first
came to
job
this,
out of college 30 years ago was in with a nonprofit here in the solar energy realm.
Oh, really?
You know, renewables have been near and dear to me for a long time, and of course, ultracapacitor technology seems to fit in everywhere from road leveling to making renewables real to automobiles to helping our troops in the field. You know, eliminating that link in the pipeline to fossil fuels that just have microgrids where they are.
So I will say this, I'm not talking about EEStor. I will say that I definitely agree, and it's very exciting that we are on the verge of having breakthroughs in utility scale storage that will allow us to, like I commented in there, it's no different than what I said in there, like a 1 gigawatt wind farm that really can't be relied on for baseload power generation because you can't store electricity. You know, the fact that we're getting close to having storage devices that will support that is a really, really big deal. That'll fundamentally change the way renewable energy can be treated.
What kind of time frame do you think that might be?
I can't say.
Of course.
Can't say, but I'll give you a counterexample. One of the reasons I'll say this is why storage is so important. One of the reasons we got into concentrated solar power initially was the ability to store that as heat thermally is a much lower tech solution. So concentrated solar power is much more reliable as baseload power generation because you can use it into the night.
Yeah.
And that's, for sure, storage is key to taking renewable energy into baseload power generation.
can you at least say if it works?
Concentrated solar power
No,
thermal
EEStor
storage?
technology. Because it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years since
He's
your
not
press.
connected to
His,
you.
initial
his
press
smile says something.
Does the smile say anything?
The smile says nothing.
Well, it's been 2 years since you released your initial press release on that, and then you had a subsequent interview, and before we came to this event, we were told we could ask questions in the context of the initial press release, and also the interview
What
that
we
was
said
granted by
was-
Lionel
Hand this
Liebman.
back
Yes,
over to
well,
you.
we said there would be no one on the panel that works closely with our Missiles and Fire Control group, and that only information that is beyond that original press release is proprietary. So everything in the original press release is approved by Lockheed Martin and EEStor, and that's all that can be shared.
Okay. One last question from a legislative affairs point of view. I understand that Senator Levin made an inquiry with Lockheed Martin concerning EEStor, and that he was given.
I don't know anything about that.
Know anything about that? Any comment from official Lockheed Martin comment?
I don't know about that as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thanks. start to talk about energy storage. I know that molten salt storage was mentioned. Can you say at least a few things about EEStor technology?
I don't have anything about EEStor technology. That's not in my area, but as part of the briefing, I asked if there was anything new there. They said beyond what we had already put in the press release, there's really nothing new we can talk about at this time.
Does it excite you, at least for the things that you're working on?
Not familiar with it.
So that means that for your programs that you're working on, you're not incorporating their technology right now?
I couldn't talk about that. Everything we're doing with them is under proprietary agreement, and therefore I can't talk about it.
Can you at least say if it works?
I have nothing I could add to that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Can you say anything about energy storage in general then, outside of EEStor?
You know, energy storage is critical to our country, because if you look at all of these intermittent power sources, the wind, solar power, they all come out this way, and we all need them to be steady state. So something has to be in the middle to accumulate that energy, store it in a form that can then be introduced in a steady state over time within quality requirements that the power grid requires. And so the better solutions we can find for that problem, the better off we'll all be.
So anybody that's looking to Lockheed for smart grid capabilities and expertise, don't you think that they would want to know what your strategy is from a storage perspective? Isn't that pretty important to that issue?
Our strategy across the smart grid is to always use the best possible solution consistent with the business requirements of the people we're working with.
Okay.
Sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing. Where did you come from, baby? How did you know I needed you? I needed you so badly. How did you know I'd give my heart gladly? Yesterday I was one of the lonely people. Now you're lying close to me, making love to me. I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing. Where did you come from, angel? How did you know I'd be the one? Did you know you're everything I prayed for? Did you know every night and day for every day, needing love and satisfaction? Now you're lying next to me, giving it to me. I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing.